morning. You're watching News 4's continuing coverage of the blizzard warning and the wicked wind chill hitting us here in western New York. Also want to let you know that a flash flood warning was just issued for the Niagara River, specifically Grand Island and Niagara Falls. That is because of ice jams, and we will have more on that in just a moment. But right now, Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz is holding a press conference to give us an update on the storm. We want to go live now to that.
Debbie Shaw.
Emergency Operations Center for Erie County and Cheektowaga. Before I give a brief rundown, I do want to introduce a few of the individuals who are here today. Hiding in the back there is my Deputy County Executive, Richard Tobey. Our Department of Public Works Commissioner, John Lafredo, is here. Our Deputy Commissioner for Emergency Services, Greg Butcher. Commissioner of Health, Dr. Gail Burstein. To my right, from the Erie County Sheriff's Office, is Captain Sean Sinnott, and also to my right, from the New York State Police, is Captain Stephen Krapp. This is a significant weather event which is still continuing, and actually, if you may have realized, the storm has changed path a little bit. It is now striking the city of Buffalo, parts of the town of Cheektowaga. Traffic in those storm areas, of course, is hazardous, as it has been in other parts of the community. Just recently, the National Weather Service has issued a flash flood warning for the upper Niagara River as a result of ice jams that are accumulating near the power intakes. We have advised from this office here representatives in the town of Grand Island, because we understand there is some flash flooding that is occurring in that area. Does not appear to be in an area of homes yet, but we certainly want people to be under, would be an advisement that there is flooding that is occurring and could continue to occur as a result of these ice jam issues on the upper Niagara. There are many declarations that have been issued, states of emergency and driving bans. I am going to go through the ones that we know that are still in effect as of this moment. The town of Evans and the village of Angola, the town of Eden, the town of Hamburg, including the village of Hamburg, the town of Orchard Park and the village of Orchard Park, the town of Lancaster and the village of Lancaster, town of West Seneca, village of Depew, city of Lackawanna, town of Elma, town of Aurora and village of East Aurora, town of North Collins. We believe the town of Brant and town of Colvin also have bans in place, though we've not received official documentation to prove that. Road closures continue throughout the community, especially in the south towns. As most people know, Interstate 90, the thruway, is closed from the Ridge Road toll in Lackawanna to the Pennsylvania line. The thruway is open, as last we know, from the Williamsville toll to the Lackawanna toll, though I can testify from driving out from the Rath Building to the Emergency Operations Center using the 190 and Interstate 90 that traffic is very slow. Visibility dropped very quickly from more than 100 feet to less than 30 feet, and sometimes complete whiteouts on the thruway. Cars were slowing down to snail's pace, and if you can avoid the thruway, I would recommend you avoid the mainline thruway at all costs, because the storm has moved into that very quickly. Route 219 is still closed. Route 400 is still closed. And now, just recently announced, Route 62, which a lot of people know is South Park Avenue through the city of Buffalo and Lackawanna, Hamburg. But Route 62 in the town of Eden, starting at Route 75 to Chattagee Road in the Collins area, is closed as well. This storm is continuing. It is expected to continue through the daylight hours. We have received reports from the National Weather Service that the storm has moved up north like it was expected to last night. It finally is starting to do it now. And based on the latest reports, it is anticipated that the storm will stay in the Buffalo metro area through approximately 4 p.m. and then head south again. That is the forecast we are relying on from the National Weather Service. The conditions are very poor still out there. There are driving bans in many municipalities for reasons. That is because it is dangerous to drive in those communities. You put yourself at risk if you get caught in a snowbank or in a ditch. You certainly put at risk first responders who have to go out and try to help you. We had reports throughout the night of people who were stuck, and tow truck operators were not able to get out to them because they could not see where they were going. So I'm asking the public to, once again, follow the driving bans. A state of emergency still exists in all of Erie County and will exist through this afternoon. We will revisit it later tonight, but the state of emergency will exist during the daylight hours today. A no unnecessary driving advisory is for the entire county, and what we'd like to certainly let the public know, especially those in areas that had not received the snow yesterday and through the midnight hours, is that it is moving north. We don't know if it'll get up to Amherst and Clarence area. We hear there's a lot of traffic on the roads in the north towns, and what we're very afraid of is if this band continues north, it's a very strong band, and if people are on the roads, they can get caught very quickly in what is 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour, but whiteout conditions which make it almost impossible to drive anywhere because you can't see where you're going. So we're telling people once again, please do not drive unless you absolutely need to in the areas where there are no driving bans, and where there are driving bans, you are not allowed to drive. It's as simple as that. We don't need people on the roads unless you have an emergency reason to be out there or you are essential personnel for a community and they need your assistance. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Captain Sean Simmet from the Erie County Sheriff's Office, who can let you know what they've been dealing with, especially as it pertains to issues related to the 219 and the 400. So, Captain Simmet.
Thank you. I'd just like to reiterate what the county executive said, in that the travel bans and advisories that are in effect need to be listened to very strongly. This is life-threatening weather conditions that we're facing. And to not heed these warnings and think otherwise really puts you in a very bad situation. Law enforcement has geared up for this. We've had excellent relations with state police and the other local agencies on trying to deal and respond to all the emergencies, and I think we're doing the best we can. But for folks to listen to the warnings and heed them is extremely important. The roads that have been closed are closed for a reason. They're impassable. That means that even though you may not see a patrol car posted at an entrance or an exit, but if you've heard through the media, which has done an excellent job of reporting this, the road's closed, and you shouldn't travel on it. Response to help you and assist you could be delayed, and we also have to think about the folks that are coming out there to respond. We're putting their lives in danger as well for perhaps what amounts to just a poor decision on a motorist's point of view. So please take the warnings. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Captain Simmet. This is a blizzard in areas of the county, and I think we haven't seen a blizzard warning in this community since 1993. We sometimes forget what that means. That means, of course, heavy snow, heavy wind gusts of over 35 miles per hour sustained for over a 3-hour period, as well as these fiercely bitter cold temperatures. If you should happen to have a car that would end up getting stuck in a ditch or on the side of the road, it doesn't take long for frostbite in these temperatures to start. And I'd like to turn it over to our Commissioner of Health, Dr. Gail Burstein, to talk about some of those issues.
Thank you. Good morning. And I also really want to emphasize that the cold is very, very dangerous. We really need to encourage everybody in Erie County to stay indoors. I know that kids are off from school and they're going to want to go play outside, but they can become very seriously affected from the cold very quickly within 30 minutes. If they do go outside, make sure that the exposed skin is covered, and don't forget the ears and the nose, because those can become damaged very quickly with frostbite in less than 30 minutes. And kids may not understand what the warning signs of frostbites are. You first initially can experience some pain, and then there's numbness. The skin becomes white, and kids may not realize that. Adults may not realize that. So whatever you can, please keep your family at home. Also, people may want to go outside and shovel their driveway. You know, everything is closed. There's nowhere to go outside. So please don't go outside and shovel your driveway, especially with people who have heart trouble, any type of cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure. You're putting a lot of exertion on yourself just being outdoors, staying warm, and then the added exertion of shoveling your driveway can really put you over, and we all know people who've had heart attacks while shoveling their driveway in the winter. So please keep it safe, stay indoors, just relax, and don't put yourself at risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burstein. We've been in continual communication with the New York State Department of Transportation in regards to road closures, road issues, as well as the New York State Police, as Captain Grapp is here, to talk about road issues throughout the county, at least those that are pertaining in the south towns. I'd like to bring up our Commissioner of Public Works, John Lafredo, who I think is going to tell you folks there's a reason why they're driving bans. So, John.
Yep. Thank you. Let me give you an example why you shouldn't be out there. We had 24 plows on the road trying to do some good in the snow belt area. Out of those 24 plows, 4 ended up in the ditch. So we pulled them back, most of them, and we're really only plowing in earnest around the perimeters of the storm. And so until the storm lets up, we can't really do much in the storm area. So it is bad, and you shouldn't be driving out there.
That is the same report that we heard from the town of Hamburg, the city of Lackawanna, town of West Seneca, town of Orchard Park. That they were having difficulties with their plow drivers, seeing where they were going, and they pulled them back in the eye of the storm, so to speak. It's bad out there, and we're really serious, and I'm serious when we're saying that if you do not need to be out there, you shouldn't be out there, and if you are in a community where there's a driving ban, you are not allowed to drive. It's for your own safety. At this time, I'd like to bring up to the podium our Deputy Commissioner for Emergency Services, Greg Butcher, who can give you an update on what they've been working on here, as well as some of the other things that we're expecting from the weather.
Thank you, Mark. So today you've heard several people talk about several different aspects of this storm, and in particular how it's relating to the public. Here at the Emergency Operations Center, we have an incredible number of people trying to work together to coordinate all of these efforts. The reason why we want you all to be aware of that is because additional people on the roadways, out when it's not necessary, as we're bringing in hundreds of pieces of snow removal equipment mixed with first responders trying to get other people off the road, obviously hinders our ability to remove the snow and ice from the roads. That is our key goal right now, is to remove the snow and ice and open up those thoroughfares from closed roads. So I think that you should tie all of these things together to understand the health safety of people being out in these extremely cold temperatures, the safety of our first responders who are out clearing these roadways of stuck vehicles that may have gone off the road because they are traveling unnecessarily, which is why the county executive has continued to urge people to heed the advisory of travel. And you mix that with the coordinated effort of not only our county snow removal forces, but the locals who also have their snow removal equipment out there, but the incredible amount of equipment the state is bringing into play here from across New York to help us with this removal. We would like to get this over as quick as the rest of you would, and people not going out when it's unnecessary will only help us in that matter the best we can. And we thank you for all of your support with regard to removing this snow and getting us back on pace with everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Just one more time, especially for those who may not have been in the eye of the storm in the last 12 hours, this is a significant weather event that is affecting our area. Blizzard conditions, a blizzard has hit Erie County. If you live in the city of Buffalo, you're probably seeing the snow and the wind come up now. If you're in the North Towns, you may be spared, but if you're in Amherst and you think, I'm seeing sunny skies, that means it must be okay to drive south. Do not. Do not. It is dangerous out there. And we want the public to understand that we're going to do the best that we can to clear these roads as soon as we can. But as our commissioner noted, it's really too dangerous for us to put our plows on the road when even they can't see. And these are experienced plow drivers who know these roads very well. So we're going to continue to work with all the local municipalities, with the Sheriff's Office, with the state troopers, with the Department of Transportation to address these issues. I spoke to Governor Cuomo yesterday. He assured us that he would give us what we need to address these issues. He did issue a state of emergency for Erie County and other western New York counties except for Niagara, and I'm looking forward to the assistance that we will be receiving from the state to help clear this up if it should last any longer. At this time, I'd like to open up to any questions.
Mark, would you request that businesses stay closed again tomorrow to give you guys extra time to clean up?